Hey guys, Brian Delivers You the Goods here. I'm returning to you for a premiere video. This is going to premiere on the 14th at midnight. I'm doing it during the early evening time at like 6:35, I believe, in my time. So I'm just recording this for a premiere tonight for the new Corey Taylor album, CMF2, that I got a chance to check out for his new solo album. I guess this is his second studio album for his solo work. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 13 songs by Corey Taylor and let you know my thoughts on his new album overall. So let's dive into this album review. Now this is the long anticipated album we've been waiting for since the first single, Beyond. And sorry about the background noise, my nephew's playing around mostly. The Box is the opening track, and solid for an opening track. It leads into the next song, which is the cool thing about the track. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's a solid opener, so 4.5 out of 5. It's not really much, just Corey Taylor singing regular vocals, and it sounds alright. So, yeah. Post-Traumatic Blues was the second single for this album, and honestly, I really enjoyed this track. Pretty good 5-minute, over 5.5-minute song. It was pretty good, and I really enjoyed the drum work, the progressiveness with the guitar and drum work. Corey Taylor's screaming vocals and his singing vocals from time to time sounded really good, so I'm really digging this track, and I really like it. Definitely rocks, so 5 out of 5. Toxic is pretty good. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it at first, but when I really listened through the rest of the track, I was really enjoying how it sounded. So this was a pretty good song too, and I did do a track review for it mid-August, I believe. So definitely check out that track review. So 5 out of 5. Breath of Fresh Smoke. Fresh Smoke, I meant to say. I'm slurring with what I'm saying. I think it's a solid track. Corey Taylor's vocals are nice, and the acoustic work's nice, but it's just the way he's singing it at times, it does alright, in my opinion, with how I'm feeling about the track. So I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. Then comes Beyond, the first single, and that was a solid one, not anything great, but I think the drum work was pretty good for this track. So I just wasn't sure if I was going to like this song when I first heard it. I was like kind of iffy about it, but I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. We Are the Rest was the last single I reviewed the other day. Definitely go check this track review I did for it. I think on the 11th, I believe I reviewed it. I think it was on 9/11 is when I reviewed it, but it did eventually come out on the 12th. So this was a pretty strong track. I really like how it's sounding. It's a little anthemic and very hard rockish, but it works in the best way possible with how the song is sounding overall with the lyrics. No way to beat me, no way to win lyrics. So really enjoying how Corey Taylor's singing it, and the energy with this track is amazing. 5 out of 5. Midnight is a solid track. I wasn't sure if I was going to dig this track, but when I listened to it, I had good things to say about it, but not anything that's my favorite track, but it's solid. 4.5 out of 5. Starmate had a weird opening vocal pitch from Corey Taylor that I wasn't connecting with, but the rest of the track did perform solidly and improved as the track went on, so really thought it was a good track in its own way, so 4.5 out of 5. Sorry Me is a solid one too. Pretty mellow track, and the acoustic works pretty nice, but sometimes there are moments where I like Corey Taylor's vocals, and some sections I don't like how it sounds, but it did perform alright. It was a good track in its own way, so 4.5 out of 5. Punchline is a great track. Really enjoying the heavy riffs, the heavy drum work, and just how Corey Taylor singing it sounds pretty good. He does some screaming moments in this track, and it does perform pretty well as a song itself. A regular track for the album, so 5 out of 5 for this one. Then comes Someday I'll Change Your Mind. Solid track. There were some things I liked about the song, like how it progressed with the rest of the song, and mostly the way Corey Taylor's singing it did alright, in my opinion. So I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. It started off a little slow, but it did pick up. Next track is All I Want Is Hate, and that's a pretty rockin' song. I really like Corey Taylor's vocals in this track. Definitely, I'm digging this song for sure. It's such a great song for 3 minutes and 21 seconds, so 5 out of 5. And finally, the last track, Dead Flies, is a 6 minute and 12-second song, and it is a headbanger for sure. I really dug this track with how it sounded. Corey Taylor's screaming vocals is great, and how he's singing the track sounded really good. So I'm really digging this track and how it is performed, and drum work, guitar work is amazing. So for 6 minutes, you're in for quite an epic song to close the album. So 5 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution wise, I think Corey Taylor's newest album, CMF2, is a pretty good album. It is much better than the CMFT album. That album tried a little too hard back in 2020. I think it was 2020 is when it came out. And I was torn with how it sounded. And when I first heard it, I thought I was going to like it. And now it's not an album I came back to as his debut solo album, but this one is an improvement from the last album in a good way. It's a pretty good album. Will be on my best albums by the end of the year. And for a score for me, I'm gonna give CMF2 for this album an 8.5 out of 10. I think Corey Taylor stepped it up with this album a bit more, with the rock songs, the hard rock songs, and the heavy tracks did pretty well. So I think he worked a lot harder on this album to make it a good listen. It's a pretty good listen in my opinion, and it definitely rocks for sure. And like I said, will be on my best albums of 2023 by the end of the year. So 8.5 out of 10 for Corey Taylor CMF2 for his newest album. Thank you guys for watching this album review.